Hey guys, how's it going? About to get started with a workout here in my shed. Gonna do some squatting and some benching. Speaking of bench press, I wish there was one thing that I would have known when I first started lifting weights, and that's what I want to talk with you about today. This is especially applicable if you're a skinny dude, meaning that you've got really long arms and long legs. If you look up any how-to on bench pressing, almost every single one will tell you the same thing, and that is when you're benching, bring the bar all the way to your chest. Touch the bar to your chest, then go up. That is a complete rep. And if you don't do it that way, you didn't bench press the right way. Well, I believe that, and for many years, that's exactly how I benched. And then I couldn't figure out why I was getting this pain here in my shoulder, which I later learned is probably a rotator cuff pain of some sort. I never could figure out why I was getting shoulder pain after I lifted, especially after I would put more weight on and try to bench a little heavier. Of course, I didn't want to not bench all the way down to my chest because that's the right way to do it. Well, it wasn't until I finally realized that it may not be the best idea to bring the bar all the way down to your chest, at least in my case. As far as I can see, there's two main reasons why this idea of touching the bar to your chest is pushed so hard. Number one, touching the bar to your chest is a full range of motion, meaning that if you don't come all the way down to your chest during the bench press, you're not lifting the bench press with a full range of motion. Full range of motion has been shown to increase the amount of muscle growth that results from a particular move. The second reason is that in competition, a full rep isn't counted unless the bar is touched to your chest. Well, for guys like you and I, more skinny guys who are trying to put on some muscle, competition doesn't matter because we're probably never going to be lifting in any competitions. And as far as a full range of motion goes, the way I see it, if you're in pain, you're not going to be lifting as effectively anyways, right? Your performance is going to be hindered if you've got pain during the lift. Not only physically, but mentally, it's going to mess with you. Knowing that you're in pain, you're not going to perform like you would if you were feeling completely 100%. My advice, don't lift with a full range of motion. It's that simple. Now, how deep should you go? That depends. The short answer is as deep is as comfortable. Now, these short little reps that you sometimes see, that's not going to help you. You do want to take as full a range of motion as you can, but only till discomfort kicks in. So a rule of thumb that I would recommend is when you're benching, aim to go to where your arms are parallel with your body, right? Meaning you start here, going to right there. So for me, a full range of motion, coming all the way down to my chest, look how contorted my arm is, how much further back from my torso my arm is. That's just a lot of strain on my rotator cuff, and I can feel it. A couple of things you can do to keep the bar from going all the way to your chest. One, of course, would be just to stop it. Typically, I'll go to where my arm, the upper part of my arm is parallel with the floor. That ends up being about right here. When you're coming down, stop the bar about where you want it to stop. Another thing that you can and you should do, especially if you're going to bench heavy this way, would be to set the spotter arms at the bottom of the range so that if you need to bail out for some reason, you can just drop it right to those spotter arms. And then another thing some guys do is put a wooden block on their chest. This gives you about an inch of extra space. That way you can touch the bar to the block and then go up for the rep. If you found this helpful or informative or entertaining, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.
Included some footage here at the end of the video of me squatting and then later bench pressing. This is really heavy weight for me here. Shooting for anywhere from around 4 to 6 reps here for this first set, and this is the first set of the day for me. This is quite heavy weight. I think last time I only got 4 reps, so I was shooting for 5 here. And you can tell the weight's getting heavy when I start to slow up. And this last set here this last repetition here, I had to prepare myself. It was quite the grinder. But nice, that was a PR for me. Always excited to lift just one more rep. And then here on bench, putting into practice what I just talked about. The spotter arms are above where the bar meets my chest. So if I drop the weight, which I might end up doing here, there's no risk of injury. Again, really heavy weight for me. That set there, that rep was a grinder, and I thought I might give it a try for a 5th rep, but not this week, and that's okay. Thanks, guys.